I second guess myself so much, man. It's crazy. Like constantly second guessing every single thing that I'm doing. It's like no matter how prepared I feel, no matter how much I do this, no matter how many videos I make, how long I spend, I second guess myself constantly. I have like a dozen ideas here, sitting here, ready to be made into videos that I have single or independently gone through and gone, that shit, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares. It's unbelievable. And writing all these ideas, I would have sat there, written the idea and gone, this is fantastic. This deserves to be written down, because there are a whole array of ideas that never even make it to the list, let alone get out of my head and onto paper. So to end up on the list and then to end up in the planning stage and then to end up with the dot points and prepared and ready to film on a day like today, it takes a lot. So to end up there now, sitting in front of this document that I have in front of me and going, nah, this is dog shit, not worth it. It's crazy. And I don't know why that's the case. And I don't know why I find myself always doing this for some reason. But I guess now I'm sitting here on camera venting to you because I think it's worthwhile seeing, you know, not that I am an enormous creator, not that I am doing anything unbelievable, not that I'm special, but I wish I could look at the creators that I admire, see them do unbelievable things, of course, continue to do the unbelievable things that they do. But I wish sometimes I could see them just go, let down the veil and go, I kind of think my work is shit. Because all of us do. I've not met a single person and a single creative in person that I know personally. Friends of mine, colleagues, people I've gotten on calls with. I've not met a single one that doesn't feel this way. All of them, every single one, without failure, feels this way. Even the ones that I've looked at with enormous admiration for years and then eventually met, even those people feel this way. So I just wish more of the time, especially for people who don't have access, you know, thankfully because of my career, because of what I've been able to do, I have access to some of these people that once upon a time I really, really admired. So I wanted to make this video to kind of give you, if you are one of those people who doesn't really have access, you're starting out as your career, you know, feel like you're the only one who struggles with second guessing yourself, struggles with, you know, abandoning ideas, not feeling like you're good enough, feeling like your content shit, wishing you were better at making content and feeling like you're the only one that struggles so hard to do this. You're not. You're far from the only person. I thought of this analogy when I was on a walk yesterday, but think about your own friendship circles and think about how, you know, you might have a group of like, let's say 10 to 15 friends. You're like 10 to 15 core friends. Some of them are, you know, you and your partner have your couple friends. And then you have, for me, for instance, I have my Ironman training friends, the friends that I train with on the weekends, on weekdays, when I'm training for races, those friends. Then I have my high school friends. And then I have some friends that I've just met along the way due to the work that I do, due to friends of friends, just people I've gotten close with for whatever reason, a random array, a massive assortment of different people in different spaces. And through any given month, I will spend more time with, let's say I'm focusing on training at the moment. I'll spend more time with those people predominantly. And then everyone else kind of falls to the wayside. And then I'll train less and I'll work more. So I'll spend more time with my work friends. Or me and McKeely will go and spend more time with our couple friends because, you know, we've got certain things happening or whatever. And so we spend more time with those people. And then everyone else kind of reduces in frequency in how often we see them. And you don't really bat an eyelid to that, right? You think, of course, you know, I'm not going to be able to see everyone at the same frequency 100% of the time. It's just not possible. But then if you think about social media and you think about the people you see on your feed every single day and how every single person who shows up is putting forward their best. But what you don't recognize is, say, the person that you watched super frequently last month, you haven't watched for the last 3 weeks, but without consciously recognizing that, someone else has taken their place. So all you're seeing at any given moment is the people that are putting out the most intensity on social media. And it makes you think that every single other person online is maintaining that at a higher level than you are. When in reality, people come and go. People post super frequently and then they pull back for a few months. The issue is you don't notice that Because as soon as someone disappears, they're replaced by the next person who's more committed in that moment. And so all you ever see is a series of high performers constantly showing their best, and you are left feeling like you're the only one that struggles. And there's been a lot of instances where I genuinely sometimes feel that I'm a lazy person. Even though in no world compared to my peers, in no world compared to my siblings, my family, the people closest to me, in no world am I a lazy person compared to them. But sometimes I'll sit on social media, I'll watch a video, and then I'll have my regular work week, and I'll compare my feeling or my productivity or how hard I work to how hard I think everyone else is working at any given time. And that makes me feel insufficient or like I'm a lazy person, when that's just not the case at all. And I wanted to kind of vocalize this because it happens all the fucking time. Usually, like by doing what I'm doing now, I force myself through that sensation. I force myself to make something, I force myself to do it, and then on the other side, I have something that I'm proud of. And the irony of that is you guys only see the finished product. You don't see the frustration I went through in getting that piece of content out there. Even my most recent YouTube video, which I don't know when this is going live, so who knows which of that video or which of the videos that was. But my most recent YouTube video where I talked about my launch strategy, I made that video 3 times. And halfway through the final time that I made it, I actually stopped, and the frustration of having done it so many times, and then also the frustration of having to sync the audio with my iPad and the camera and then my audio recorder, the frustration of having to go through that process again is the only reason I continued making it. And then I actually finished that video and consciously thought, wow, there's no ending here. You kind of just ended abruptly. This isn't a video you should bother even editing. So I considered formatting the card and just forgetting the idea and coming back to it later. Then I edited the video and immediately thought, this is shit, no one's gonna find this valuable. So I slept on it overnight. I exported the video and uploaded it to YouTube unlisted, but then slept on it overnight. And then I woke up this morning, the day that I posted it, and decided to publish, not because I thought the video was good, but because I'd finally convinced myself that getting something out there is more valuable to me than having it be perfect in my eyes. So that idea that is now my best performing video, by the way, of any video in the first 6 hours, it's my best performing of the last 10 videos I've posted in the first 6 hours of posting it. So far and away, it was a good decision to put it out there. But that video only got posted because I kind of finally surrendered to my feeling of inadequacy and just said, fuck it, I'm gonna put it out there anyway. It wasn't this sensation of I'm feeling accomplished, I'm feeling confident in what I'm putting out, I'm gonna put it out because I love this piece of content. It was like, you know what, fuck it, I've already been through the trouble, I'm gonna just post it and see what happens. And I hope that kind of, that gives you a little bit of clarity, or at least a little bit of understanding that very rarely do the people that you admire, the people you look up to, the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the content creators, anyone, very rarely do they internally feel the way that you see them externally. If ever, to be honest. I think most of the time they don't. And I would confidently say that. And if they tell you that they work hard every day and they're always productive and they always feel amazing and they make content and they always feel great about it, I would wager and be willing to bet money that they're fucking lying. So I like to try remind myself that whenever I'm working and I feel like I'm having a bad day, I feel like I've had, a day where I'm just not feeling productive or not feeling particularly good about my work, or feeling like I'm falling behind, which is constantly a sensation I think everyone has in this day and age, with everyone putting their best foot forward constantly on social media. And like I said, the best performers always taking the place of the people that are underperforming. It's just the way it is. You only see the best performers at any one time. I think people constantly feel like they're the outlier. They're the one that's struggling. They're the only person going through what they're going through. And it's just, I just hope a piece of content like this exists for people who feel that way, so you can kind of circle back to this when you're next feeling that way. You can think to yourself, well, Tom admitted to it, so it probably means that all the people that I also feel that way also are going through that same thing. And even though I struggle to do this, it's not because I'm the only one, it's because everyone struggles to do this. I think if it were easy, I constantly try to remind myself, if making content on the internet were easy, if making a YouTube video was easy, if everyone felt confident about their art, if everyone felt good about their business, if business was easy, one of the crazy things that I always laugh at, and I almost feel a reluctancy to talking about revenue in my business. I always feel a reluctancy to, let me put it this way. It took me a long time to publicly say that my business makes $100,000 a month. We actually hit a $320,000 month before I publicly said that I make $100,000 a month. And the reason being is that I understand the ups and downs, the ebbs and flow of business so personally, because I feel it. I constantly go through waves of feeling like I know what I'm doing, and then have a downturn of, I might put something out that doesn't perform, or I might have a drop off in engagement, or I might, have an email that doesn't deliver as well and doesn't get as many clicks, or I might have a launch that doesn't, feel as effortless, or marketing material that doesn't go as well. And suddenly all of that confidence that I felt literally 5 minutes ago ceases to exist. And so it took me such an enormous amount of time to confidently go out in public and talk about my revenue at the levels it was, because I was like, this is just going to create a false expectation that once you hit this number, you just exist there. That's not the case. It's not the case at all. I think business is this constant ebb and flow of peaks and valleys. You're going to do super well, and then you're going to go through a bit of a valley, and then you're going to build yourself back up again. And I think the best analogy I've heard for entrepreneurship, or at least, the best analogy I've heard for all of this, for content creation, entrepreneurship, anything that you're doing on your own accord, anything that you're trying to build publicly in the world, the best analogy I heard is that it's not about how you perform when you're at the top. It's about how you pick yourself up when you get kicked in the teeth and you have to figure out how the fuck you're going to get back up again. And I think that is true for when you're, catching an uptrend with content, but then suddenly people stop to care or stop caring, and you have to figure out how you're going to regain that attention. I think it's true for when you hit a revenue target, you hit a big goal in your business. Maybe it's 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever it is, you hit that target. And then the very next month you hit a quarter of that amount. And you're like, where the fuck did that money go? Where did that revenue go? I thought I had this all figured out, and now I'm having to start again. I think that's entrepreneurship. I think that moment where you have to figure out how you're going to recover is what actually makes people successful and unsuccessful. I think it's navigating that feeling, or this feeling that I'm going through right now, which is the reason why I'm making this video. I think it's navigating that sensation that you're the only one who's struggling with something that you think no one else has ever experienced, because everyone feels this way. I think it's navigating that sensation that leads to your success or failure.